Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jyoti Prakash and let's get into the video. So first let's look into Bank Nifty in 1 day candle chart. After that we'll going to look into 15-minute candle for taking any trade. But before going to analysis for any trade, we need to identify the trend because you can see that Wednesday is near to the expiry, so you can expect some good movement to tomorrow also, and it may build up some good position for expiry day. So for that we need to identify the trend. If you go with the trend, then it will be beneficial for us in future also and in long term also. So you can see that in 1 day candle chart, Bank Nifty looks sideways, it makes a doji candle here, and you can expect some buying pressure here because you can see that it trades around that zone for almost 6 to 7 days, and it did not goes up, neither it closes below. So I am expecting it to goes up until 42,600, and if it closes above that 42,600 or 620 level, then you can expect some good movement here until 42,800 to round level 42,000. As per 1 day candle chart, it looks positive to me because if it opens flat or opens gap up, then it may go up. But if it opens gap down, then we're going to wait it to closes below 42,300 or 350. After that, we can expect some selling pressure from there. Okay. Now let's look into in 15-minute candle. Here you can see that in 15-minute candle, Bank Nifty trades around that 42,500 level for almost 4 times, and it take resistance from there here also, and you can see that it goes second time here, and today it opens around that, but it did not closes above. So today market closes around that 42,500 level. So if tomorrow market opens flat or opens gap up, and if it closes above 42,500 round level, then you can expect some buying pressure here, and our target will be 42,600 to 42,800. But it may happen that it opens gap up above 42,600 or in around that zone. Then you can also expect some positive movement here. If it's substance here and did not goes down like that, like this type of candle, then if it shows any positive movement as this type of candle, then you can expect some buying pressure above 42,600. So our condition will be if it opens gap up and closes above 40,600, then we can expect some buying pressure up from there. And if it opens flat and if it closes above 40,500, then we can also take trade for buying. And it may happen that it opens gap down, so we will going to wait for it to closes below 42,300 or 350, and you can also see here that it trades around the trend line, and if it closes below that trend line, which is 40,400, then you can also expect some selling pressure here. But as of now, my suggestion would be if it closes below 42,350 or 42,300 by opening gap down or opening flat, then you can expect some selling pressure here, and our target will be 42,200 to 42,100 round level. Okay. And now let's look into Nifty in 1 day candle chart. Here you can see that in Nifty it opens gap up today and it shows some positive movement here, and now it trades around yesterday's higher level. So if tomorrow market opens flat or opens gap up, and if it closes above 18,250 or 2,260, then you can expect some buying pressure here, and our first target will be 18,320. Next target we can set to 18,370. But but for selling, it needs to closes below 18,200 round level, and if it closes below that and it continuously goes down, and if it tomorrow it shows any negative movement after 18,150, then you can expect some selling pressure here also, and you can set our target to round level 18,060 to 18,050. Okay. Now let's look into in 15-minute candle. In 15-minute candle, you can see that Nifty trades around that higher level, which we can see yesterday market opens gap down and it continuously goes down from there, and it now trades around that level. So if tomorrow market opens flat or opens gap up, as I said in 1 day candle chart, you can expect some buying pressure here, and your target will be 18,300 to 18,320. It may happen that it opens gap up as Bank Nifty. If it opens gap up and if it closes above 18,300 round level, then after that you can expect some buying pressure here also, because you can see that market gaps down over here, and those sellers who taken selling trade, their stop loss will be around that zone. So if it closes above that zone, then it may happen that those sellers stop loss will going to be hit, and they will going to get out of the trade. So you can expect some buying movement as for now if it closes above 18,300. And for selling, it needs to closes below 18,200. After that, you can expect some selling pressure here, because you can see that today market trades around that 18,200 level, and after that it breaks out on upper side. So if you really wanted to look for any selling trade, you need to closes below that range, because many buyers have put stop loss from here, because it is also round level. 18,200 also is a round level, and if it closes below that, then we will going to take it up for selling, and we can set our target to 18,160 to 18,130. And that's it for today. That's it for Bank Nifty and Nifty. Now let's look into Bank Nifty components, because Bank Nifty components are very precious to us, because we are trading on Bank Nifty options. So for making profit on Bank Nifty options, we need to identify the trend. For identify the trend, we need to identify the Bank Nifty components, because Bank Nifty components, those 6 components which I am suggesting you, they have more weightage on Bank Nifty. So if you can track them, then it will be helpful for you to identify the trend. So for that reason, we are daily analyze Bank Nifty components, and after that, when we are taking trade, we will during that time also we can look into Bank Nifty components for any confirmation. Okay. Then you can see that in HDFC Bank it looks negative to me. The reason is that you can see that it trades around that lower zone, and today it did not make much movement to either upwards or downwards. So if tomorrow market opens flat, or if it closes below 1590, then you can expect some selling pressure here, and our target will be 1580 to 1575. The reason is that if it closes below that, then those buyer who taken buy trade from here, their stop loss will be also going to be hit. That is the reason why it may go down if it closes below 1590. And it may happen that it opens a gap up, and if it closes above 1600 round level, and if it closes above 1600, then, and if it shows any positive movement after that, then we can expect some buying pressure here, and our target will be 1610 to 1613. Okay, now let's look into ICICI Bank. Here you can see that in ICICI Bank it trades around that round level, which is 900, 920 and 25, and it is now it trade make a doji candle, made a doji candle here, and you can see that if it closes above that doji candle, which is 926 or 25, then you can expect some buying pressure here, and our target will be very huge, which will be until 1935 to 935 to 940. But it may happen that it closes below that doji candle by opening flat, and if it closes below 920, then you can expect some selling pressure here also, and our target will be 913 to 906. So we will going to look into ICICI Bank very deeply tomorrow during market opening hours, and if it shows any negative movement and HDFC Bank shows a negative movement, then you can expect some selling pressure in the Bank Nifty. Okay. Now let's look into our SBI Bank. So you can see that in SBI Bank it trades around that zone for almost 6 to 7 days, and if it closes below that zone, which is round level 600, then you can expect some selling pressure here, and our target will be 590 on 91 to 590. But it may happen that it opens gap up, and if it closes above 600 to 603, then you can expect some buying pressure here also, and we can set our target to 606 first. Next target will be 609 to 610. So we need to wait for it to close above that range or below that range for taking any trade. Then it will be beneficial for us. Now let's look into Kotak Bank. Here you can see that in Kotak Bank market today opens a gap up, and it did not sustain there, and now it trades below round level 950. So you can expect some selling pressure here also if it tomorrow opens flat or opens gap down, and if it shows any negative scenario there, then you can expect some selling pressure here, and target will be 1931. Next target will be 1925. But if it may happen that it opens a gap up around 1950, and if it shows any negative scenario there also, we will going to take trade for selling. For any buying, it needs to close above 1950, 1900 and 1954. Then you can expect some buying pressure from there. Okay, now let's look into Axis Bank. Here you can see that in Axis Bank it opens a gap up around 877, and yesterday also I told you that if it opens a gap up, then you can expect some selling pressure here, because the reason is that you can see that Axis Bank opens a gap down here, and it make a gap here, and the reason is that there are so many sellers here, and for that reason market opens gap down. And if market goes around that zone once again, then it may happen that it will going to hit resistance 1 or 2 days, and if it closes above that, then you can expect some buy pressure here. So tomorrow you can also expect some selling pressure here. If it opens flat or opens gap down, then you can expect some selling pressure, and our target will be 860. But it may happen that it opens gap up, and if it opens gap up and if it closes above 875, then you can expect some buying pressure here until 885, 80. And if it closes above that, then you can stretch our target to 885. But it may happen that it opens gap up and shows a negative scenario there. Then you can expect some selling pressure here, and our target will be 870 to 860. Now let's look into our last bank, which is IndusInd Bank. And here you can see that in IndusInd Bank, it closes around or above higher level of that zone, which is 1122, 1160 or 65. Now it trades around 1169. So my suggestion would be wait for tomorrow. If it opens flat or opens a small gap up or medium gap up, then you can expect some buying pressure here, and target will be 1192 to around about 1200. But it may happen that it opens gap down and continuously goes down, then it will go again going that zone. So our focus will be if it closes below above that, and if it sustain above round level 1170, then you can expect some buying pressure here. And as I said, when IndusInd Bank some good positive or negative movements, it make huge movements like 2%, 3%. Today you can see that market HDFC Bank goes above 2.7%, and that is the reason why my suggestion would be wait for at least 15 to 20 minutes for any trend confirmation. After that, we can expect some buying or selling pressure. Okay, and that's it for today, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe my channel and share it, and bye bye everyone.